You know, most comics are always talking about how much they hated high school. Not me, buddy. I loved high school. I loved high school. High school was the best time of my life. I played high school football. I love football. Utah's a football state. Y'all got a university at every exit. Got the most educated people I ever seen in my life. No matter where I got off, it was a university. I love football. I ain't much on college football. Well, I like college football, and I don't care for the pros one bit, but I love high school football. Because, see, I played high school football from 72 to 80. Best 8 years of my life. Most of y'all got that. God bless y'all. That's amazing. Most of y'all got that. I'm so proud of you. I went to high school from 72 to 80. Matter of fact, I made team captain all 3 senior years. You laugh if you want to, that's pretty good. My 3rd senior year, I was not only team captain, I was assistant coach. You don't see a lot of player coaches in high school, do you? You just don't see that. And it ain't like now. They just passed a law in North Carolina, the stupidest law I've ever heard of in my life, that a kid has to play, if he's going to play high school sport, he has to pass his grade and attend school. You people have that here. Are you kidding me? How are we ever going to compete with the SEC in Alabama if the kid actually has to go to school? I played ball with guys never even went to school, just showed up for practice. And no, they got to go to school now and attend class. I never forget my 3rd senior year, I was team captain. We were playing a big 4A school in Raleigh called Garner. We were a little 2A school, little farming community, and we were all big boys, all twisted, steel, and sex appeal. Yeah. And every time we played in big 4A schools in Raleigh, we'd beat them like a red-headed stepchild. Yeah! Of course, I mean, we should. Most of us was 26, 27 years old. I mean, you can't beat a 15, 16-year-old. I mean, what good are you? You're a grown man. One night we played Garner. Garner had an all-state running back, went to Clemson on a full scholarship. And that boy was good, but he was coming up the middle, and he wasn't running on me. I played nose tackle, middle linebacker. He tried to come up the middle, bam! I'd eat his lunch, take him out. After quite a few plays, I've been giving him negative yardage. He got tired of it, threw a quick pitch. He caught it in a run, and he's running down the sideline. And there's 3 of us chasing him, and as he's running down the sideline with his quick pitch, 3 of us chasing him, and we're ready to tackle him. We look. There's a 10-year-old kid running up the sideline going, "Tackle him, Daddy! Tackle him, Daddy!" Let me tell y'all something. You and your kid ride the same bus. That's something special right there. People ask me all the time, were you funny in high school? Not really. I was a pretty intense young man. And I was a big kid in high school. Matter of fact, I've been a big man all my life. When I was in the 8th grade, brother, I was 6'1", 190 pounds in the 8th grade. Of course, I was 18 at the time. I was dating a teacher driving a school bus. Back when it was okay to date a teacher. Some of y'all old enough to remember that, don't you? Man, if I hadn't dated Miss Daughtry, I'd have never got out of high school. Well, good, she was only 2 years older than me. Come on. I do remember my 3rd senior year, we were playing Walter Easton, this guy that we played against for 5 or 6 years. And Coach, we were in the defensive huddle, and Coach went, "Boys, Walter's bigger, faster, meaner, tougher, and a better athlete than anybody on this team. But by golly, y'all are better coached than he is. And we got to attack Walter's weakness." Now, Walter was 6 foot tall, 220 pound, run about a 4.6 40, and looked like a piece of stove wood. They want a weakness on him. And I'm standing down in the huddle like this. He said, "We're going to attack Walter's weakness." And before I could stop myself, I said, "Hey, Coach, I heard he's pretty bad in geometry. Maybe we throw a Pythagorean theorem at him. We can trip him out before he crosses the goal line." And back then, a coach could put his hands on you, and he grabbed me by the face mask, jerked me off the ground, and he had just finished smoking a Marlboro and went, "Boy!" And all this smoke just filtered into my helmet. Of course, I hadn't had that in about 3 hours, so I went. Because I am from North Carolina, where tobacco is considered a vegetable. Where we have 2 towns named Winston and Salem. He said, "Run till you die, Mr. Smart Aleck." And I ran till I puked. And he'd come over there and he'd jerk me up and he said, let me tell you something, boy. Shoot your mouth off in my huddle one more time. I dare you. I double dog dare you. Just say one more thing funny in my huddle. Next time I'll run you till you die. But that's got to be the funniest thing I ever heard in my life. He's pretty bad in geometry. The old Pythagorean theorem up. Which is pretty good because I didn't even know what a Pythagorean theorem was. That's a great laugh. She knows what a Pythagorean theorem is.
Hey friends and neighbors, Jerry Carroll here. I sure hope you enjoy my Dry Bar special. You need to download the Dry Bar app, and then you need to go do the promotional code Carroll, my last name, C-A-R-R-O-L-L. Thank you so much.